Hello, in this presentation, we will record a transaction related to rental income into our bookkeeping problem in Excel, keeping in mind how that same information might be input into accounting software such as QuickBooks. If you would like more information about the QuickBooks Pro, take a look at our comprehensive course in the link below. We're first going to take a quick look at QuickBooks and then jump over to Excel and enter the data there. We're looking at the customer section of QuickBooks. We will be entering a create sales receipt, and we will be renting music equipment and receiving payment at the same point in time. If we look at that form, we have a create sales receipt form or a sales receipt form. It looks much like an invoice, but it does have the payment options included as well. We're going to add a new item here. The new item is a service item. That means that we're not selling inventory, we're charging for music equipment. In this case, we're renting out the equipment and receiving income on that. We then are going to set that up, and here is our sales receipt. Looks much like an invoice, but we do have the payments options here, so we got to check. We have the date, we have the sales number, generates automatically. When we put in our information for the item, which is the new item of rental music equipment, it then populates automatically, giving us the rate, and there's no sales tax on it, and so that will be the total. The journal entry then is going to be a debit to undeposited funds, or an increase in undeposited funds, and an increase in revenue, our new revenue, our rental music equipment revenue account. Let's see this in Excel. We're now going to enter the same transaction in Excel. Remember that we are renting music equipment and receiving payment at the same point in time. First question, is cash affected? And we're going to say it is affected. However, we're not going to put it into the checking account first. We're going to put it into that undeposited account and then move it to the checking account when we go to the bank for the actual deposit. This is a debit balance account. We're going to make it go up by doing the same thing to it, which is another debit. So we'll copy the undeposited funds. We're going to put that in cell V12, right click and paste 1, 2, 3. The amount then is going to be in W12, and that will be for 4,500. We will then credit something for 4,500. So there's the debit, there's the credit. And the credit will then go to, we're looking for some type of income account. We're renting equipment. So that's going to be assets, liabilities, equity, and then income accounts down here. We have been working with the merchandise sales and the service revenue. We now have a new income account because it's in the income sections of rent music equipment. So that's going to be our other form of income. And like all income accounts or revenue accounts, they have credit balances. They only go up. We're going to increase it by doing the same thing to it, which in this case is another credit. So we're going to copy the rent music equipment. So right clicking on that, copy. And then we're scrolling up, we're going to put that in cell V13, right click and paste 1, 2, 3. We're then going to format this. I'm just going to go to the Home tab, Alignment Group, and increase the indentation for the formatting options. Now we have journalized the journal entry in the General Journal. We'll now post this to the General Ledger, which will then be used to create the trial balance and that used to create the financial statements. We'll start off here with the undeposited funds. It's right here, and on the trial balance, it's right there. It's like the fifth account down, and therefore will be about the fifth account down on the general ledger as well. Looking for the undeposited funds, we're scrolling to the... Actually, I'm going to scroll back left, all the way to the left. We'll freeze the panes first. So scrolling all the way to the left, and then all the way to the top. We're going to put our cursor in AJ1, and then we're going to go to the View tab, the Windows group, and freeze panes, and then we'll freeze the panes. So there we have that. Now we'll go back to this undeposited funds, fifth account down. We're going to scroll to the right till we find that fifth account. So we're scrolling right, and we'll scroll down. Here's undeposited funds. We are down here in cell AU29. What we're going to do is say equals, and then scroll up just a bit and point to that 4,500. Let's do that now. We are in cell AU29. We are selecting equals. We're scrolling up just a bit and we're pointing to that 4,500 and enter. So now it goes up from 1 or 0 in essence to by 4,500 to 4,500. That 4,500 then should be found on the trial balance. Let's see if that is the case. Scrolling to the right, looking for that undeposited funds, that 4,500. Here we have it. We're currently out of balance by that 4,500 until we record the other side, that to rent music equipment. So we're going to record that down here. It's going to be in the income section. So it's in order. Assets, liabilities, equity, income, and expenses. So here it is. It's our second income account. It will then be our second income account on the general ledger. Let's find it. We're going to scroll to the right looking for those. We got the assets in green, the liabilities in orange, the equity in light blue, and then here's the dark blue for our income accounts. We're going to scroll down to BH40. We are in cell BH40. What we're going to do within BH40 is select equals, and then we're going to scroll up just a bit, and we're going to point to that 4,500. Let's do that now. Scrolling down, we are now in BH40. We're selecting equals. We're scrolling up just a bit and pointing to that 4,500 and enter. So there we have it. It's going up to 4,500. We're going to go back to the trial balance and see if that then is on the trial balance as well. Going back to the left, scrolling up, we see the 4,500 there. That is going to be part of the calculation for net income, meaning we have credits here minus the debits. The credits are winning by 6,867, meaning revenue minus expenses. It calculates to be 6,867. That is revenue. That is not a loss for us. That's revenue. And now we're just going to see what happened to the financial statements. We're going to go to look at the financial statements and see the impact it should be generating automatically. Before we do so, however, we will unfreeze the pane. So we're going to go to the View tab. We're going to go to the Windows group, go to the Freeze panes, and we want the frozenness to go away, so we will unfreeze the panes. Then we're just going to point to what we've had some changes to, and then go see if it has been updated as we believe it should be. We did something to the undeposited funds, so I'm going to point to the financial statements there. We did something to the rent equipment, and so I'm going to point to the financial statements there as well. Then we'll just scroll to the right. We're going to take a scroll all the way to the right. I'm just holding down the right arrow to locate those financial statements which are on the right place somewhere. Here we have them. They're in cells BW through CC. We had made a change to undeposited funds right there. We see that we are still in balance, assets equaling liabilities and equity, which is a good sign. We see that the rent music equipment on the income statement has increased automatically. That's good. We see revenue is now being updated. Revenue minus expenses bringing us to a net income that has now increased as well to 6,867. That same amount in net income on the statement of equity, and that's part of the ending equity of 151.42. That amount also on the balance sheet as part of our total liabilities and equity.